Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let's get started.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Today I'm going to present the migration from on-premises XP to SaaS XM Cloud. So this would be a...
Sorry to interrupt you. I think voice is very low, Jansi.
Okay.
You make a little bit louder.
Yeah. This is a more high-level presentation I'm bringing here, and a more practical way of presentation. When I am studying, when I am preparing, what are the questions I had in my mind? I'm bringing here just as a question, and I try to answer each and every question. This is very, very basic and most high-level thing I'm bringing here. So in later upcoming session, we can brief it. Okay. So first is architecture. Before going into the topics, we can just go to this architecture. We all know the XM Cloud architecture. We know the XP architecture, the on-premises architecture. This is our new XM Cloud architecture. We know the XM Cloud is a decoupled architecture. So the front-end host is totally separated from the back-end XCM instance. So once we build all the code in our GitHub and we have a deployment service, that deployment service will deploy our code to the XM instance. So once the XM instance is ready in the cloud, there is a one person, there is a one person for XM Cloud, that is a experience age. By bad, our XM Cloud doesn't have a CD server at all. So instead of that, we have a experience page here. So the ready to serve content is published to the experience age. So the content will be there in the age. So once all the contents are in the age, so how the content should be given to the web? So there is a one person called GraphQL for the front-end host. So front-end host routed all data to the web through the GraphQL. This is a basic architecture XM Cloud is using. So now we know the how XP or on-premises will work and the XM Cloud will work. So we know the major difference. Okay, so from here, I have a question. I had a question actually. So, how these two XP and XM are benefit? What is the benefit of XP and XM? So, in my mind, XP is there; it has some future, and XM is there; it has their own future. Which one is the best, XP or XM? So, my answer is it depends. If the project is mostly based on the static website, we can use a XP. So if it is if you have a concern about the security and performance, in future I need to scale up my application. In that scenario, we can go for XM. So this is my understanding. I can tell that which is the best. So everything is depend. We cannot specifically say this is the best and this one is the best. So more practical way of exam, I'll bring one thing here. I'll show you.
Could you repeat that? What is the difference between XP and XM?
No. Each XP and XM have their own features.
Okay.
XP is in case if we have my security is affecting in XP, so I can go for a XM Cloud. So if I want to improve my performance than XP, so I can go for XM. So each and every project depends. It depends. We can go for XP or we can go for XM Cloud. There is no much hype on for XM Cloud as per my understanding.
Okay.
So based on business and based on the project, so we can go for whatever we want. So this is my most practical way of example. So there is two sandwich. One is a street sandwich, and there is a subway sandwich. So both are a sandwich, but street selling sandwich has only one way of making. For every customer, they will follow the same procedure to make the sandwich. They have a bread, they have a cheese, they have a veggie or non-veg platter, whatever it is, they have a standard pattern to make it. They serve the same sandwich to the each and every person. Excuse me. But when I go to the subway, I can customize based on my concern, my taste, my health abilities, whatever it is. I can choose my bread, even my bread, my veggies, whatever my sauce. If I like a sweet onion, I can choose sweet onion. Likewise, the XP and Exam Cloud is different. So what you choose, you can pay for that. So, but street selling sandwiches, it has a similar price for everybody. So, like this, I'm differentiate the XP and XM Cloud. This is my more practical way of example I'm bringing here. Okay. So, the next question I had, definitely we need a migration from XP to XM Cloud. So, I have gone through a lot of blogs. It also depends on your project, depends on your business needs and your security and performance. You can migrate. Whether you want to migrate or not, that is not an issue. So this is do really need a migration means it depends on the project and the performance and whatever we are already having an existing project and the new projects. So next thing, I have bringing a few topics here. So when we migrating our project from XP to XM, I have moreoverly giving around 5 to 6 topics here. So all are high level things. First thing is a content migration. So in the content migration, so we have a content in our Sitecore tree. We have a data, renderings, images, media, and everything is there. And we have some personalization and all the data are in our content tree. But how I can migrate from XP to XM Cloud? So in that scenario, we are simply copy our database to XM Cloud. It won't support at all. Why? Because XM Cloud has a cloud server, edge server. So we should not have a option to simply copy and paste the content in Excel. We have to manually, either we can manually do, but Sitecore is recommending a tool. There is some, I don't remember the tool. I think the Raisel something. The Sitecore content serialization tool is there. We can use that tool to migrate your content, base content, renderings, media items, whatever is there, we can do the migration. This is the content migration we are following here. And next thing is the XDB and personalization. So, according to the XM Cloud, there is no longer support XDB. Why? Because there is no XConnect database. So, it won't support the XDB and personalization things. But they are providing the out of the box personalization based on the time, based on the page contrast. These personalization are there. But if you want to do any custom personalization, in RTXU, we have a lot of custom personalization, query string personalization, a lot of personalizations are there. In that scenario, we couldn't carry forward the same thing to the RXM cloud. So what I got to do? So what is the alternative way I can do the personalization? Again, they are giving a one SaaS service, SaaS product personalized. So I can upgrade to that personalization SaaS product. I can bring all the functionalities there. Even though they are additionally add some feature to that personalization. So better we can use on that additional. If I in some project how doesn't have a personalization, custom personalization, in that scenario, I don't need to buy that SaaS product. So it is a cost cutting. What I am using, I can pay. That is the main objective here. And next thing is a search. Search, the basic search XM Cloud is providing. But if I'm using any custom search, if I creating any custom index, in that scenario, it won't support at all. So the same thing, what we have seen in the personalization. So we can buy a one more, we can upgrade to one more SaaS product, Sitecore Search. Because actually this is a AI-driven they are providing, so we can go for that one. We can use it and pay. We can pay it and we can use it. If we don't need any custom search, we no need to subscribe to that one. So we can simply omit it. And then pipeline. Usually in every MSc project and or on-premise project, we will use a pipeline. It no longer support to our exam cloud. So why it doesn't support it? Exam cloud doesn't have a CD server. It won't. The CD server is fade away, so it has a experience edge. If the CD server doesn't have, it doesn't that initialize HTTP pipeline. These pipelines are doesn't have. So we couldn't carry forward these pipeline to our new migration. So what happened? So what is the alternative for this pipeline? So I'm thinking, so I'm going to go through a lot of things. So I could found there is two way. Actually, in the headless architecture, obviously we will use Next.js or React or some of the headless architecture. So we can migrate our code to the Next.js, or else we can have an option to write in a hook. We can write a hook and we can use whatever we want. That is the recommended and best way to migrate our pipelines. And next thing is the source code. It's very important in our migration. So 9, 10 version, whatever the version in something we are using MVC. So it won't support to our exam cloud when migration. So then what is the alternative? We can go for our headless approach, either React, Next.js, and some of the headless approaches are there. Obviously, we know how to migrate from MEC to Next.js. We already did in our TXU project, everything. If you are using any .NET Core, we know already we are using the React or TypeScript. These things we already use. There is no problem. You can directly use that same code if it is a .NET Core. Otherwise, we have to migrate to some of the headless approach, whatever suits for our application, we can go for it. And next thing is a serialization. This is one of the best, one of the important thing we need to take care in our exam cloud migration. So if you are using any serialization provider like Unicorn and some TDS, whatever it is, so it no longer support our exam cloud. So what I have to do, so Sitecore is providing the way to serialize the content, the Sitecore content serialization. So it is the best method. So GitHub, we can do all the serialization. There is a series of steps we have to follow to serialize this content, like model.json is there. This is one of the vast area we can cover it in upcoming session. We can include all the steps. So whatever it is more similar to Unicorn setup. We can follow the same file setup. We can do a serialize all the data, media items, renderings, whatever it will there in the CMS. We can do the serialization here. And the next thing is the deployment. So when I come to the deployment, the most prominent way the Sitecore uses in on-premises is we will write a code and we will do a build, and then it will convert to artifact. Artifact is transferred to our IA server. This is the most familiar method we are following in our project, and most of the people are following. And either this one or we can use a Docker with Kubernetes or something. The Docker image is converted with Kubernetes, we can use it. So, but this is in our exam cloud migration, it won't support it. So how they are doing the deployment to flawlessly deploy and without effort, the effortless deployment is implemented in our exam cloud. This is the best way. So Sitecore is adopting a integrated connector to the GitHub. So usually most of the project have GitHub set up in exam cloud. So we have a integrated connector. So what this connector will do? The connector this connector will streamline the deployment process. What are the deployment process are there? It will streamline what should happen through the next. So it will initiate the auto deployment whenever you committed your code. So whenever you committed it, automatically deploy your code to the server. So this is what happening in the deployment process. But I had a question. So in some cases, I need to deploy it manually. So in that case, how I can do it? So there is no leverage to the deployment. So I had gone through some of the websites. So they are saying some CLI tool is there. No need to worry about when it is a GitLab or using Azure DevOps, whatever it is. You can use a CLI tool is there to deploy manually, to trigger a manual deployment. So no need to worry. There is a option. Either you can go for a manual or automatic deployment. These are the major steps I have gone through. There's a more high level. Most of them already know about it. I'm new to the exam flow, so I have gone through these steps in the exam flow. So in next session, I can cover each and every step separately, more elaborate way how we can achieve from migration.
Okay, Jansi.
Yeah, so this is a basic high level view of migration.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, it's a fruitful session, Jansi. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jansi. That was very good.
Thank you.
Any questions, guys?
No, yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.